Hey, what's going on, world? It's your nutrition and wellness guy, me, Chef D, and today we're gonna make a baked ziti. However, we're gonna do it the Chef D way, which simply means a healthier you, the healthiest way. So we're gonna scrap the ground turkey, ground beef, ground chicken, whatever you use ground. As far as meat, we're scrapping that today. We're doing a ground plant-based meat instead. However, we will keep our dairy today. We're gonna do a shredded cheddar and a shredded mozzarella with some grated Parmesan, so it's gonna be pretty fun. I got some VIPs on this ingredient guest list today. But before I can introduce the true stars of this episode, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. Like this video, I truly appreciate it. But more importantly than those two things, share this with somebody in your life who you truly care about when it comes to their nutrition and wellness journey. Let's get into it. All right, so for starters, we have our ground plant-based meat. We have some penne pasta. This is the unbleached wheat. Italian seasoning. We have some diced up red peppers. You're more than welcome to use green, yellow, orange. Some diced up onions. Sea salt for taste. We have some fresh garlic chopped up in there. Of course, we need the Chef D blend. Olive oil back here. We took a mozzarella ball and we shredded up. So we have some shredded mozzarella. We have some grated Parmesan. We took about 2 Roma tomatoes and we chopped those up. We have some shredded cheddar. This is about 2 cups worth of tomato sauce or marinara. And what we did with the jar, we poured about 8 ounces of water into the jar. We shook it up really good, and we have about 8 to 10 ounces of water that came from the tomato jar. Nothing goes to waste. All right, so for starters, we're going to get a pot with some water, and we're gonna put a little extra olive oil in there, a little sea salt, and we're gonna start our noodles. Now, we're not gonna cook them all the way. We're just gonna do like a 8-minute kind of boil on them. We want them to finish cooking in the sauce so it can absorb the flavor and help thicken it up some. All right, boom. Let's check our skillet. All right, nice and hot. We're gonna add some olive oil. All right, yeah, we'll save a little bit. We don't need that much. What we are doing is adding fat back to this plant-based alternative. There you go. Ooh, see that sizzle? Yeah, that's what we want. We want to make sure the pot is nice and hot. All right, we're just going to break this up because we want to create crumbles. All right, that's pretty good. Let's mix it around, get some oil on there. All right, now they say with these plant-based meats and alternatives, you don't have to cook them, long like you do the other meats, and you don't. However, I still do believe in cooking them long enough to get the color, as well as that texture on the outside. All right, we're gonna add our seasoning. We did the sea salt, Chef D blend. That was Italian seasoning just now. Incorporate that a little bit more. We're gonna save the rest for the sauce, but again, we do wanna season this alternative. All right, that looks good. That was about 5 to 7 minutes, all depending on your skillet. Again, you don't want to overcook this. Mind you, it's going to cook with the sauce, it's going to cook in the oven. Honestly, this is just really to get flavor into the plant-based alternative. All right, get that a little bit, scoop it up. I mean, you could have used a spoon, but I had my spatula. I didn't want to dirty up another utensil. There we go. One more. Oop. All right, so that's where the rest of the oil comes in. And now we're gonna cook the aromatics. We got the chopped onions right there. Next, we're gonna add the bell peppers. Mind you, can use green, yellow, orange, your choice. I like red, it just makes it all pop, especially with these Roma tomatoes. You can use regular tomatoes, but again, I just love how they cook down the Roma tomatoes. All right, and there we have some of the rest of the sea salt there. And as you know, we put some in the meat, and now we put some on our aromatics. That was the rest of the Italian seasoning, and boom, shake, shake, shake. The rest of the Chef D blend. All right, we're gonna mix that around. Now, for some of you who are just starting to follow this page, the Chef D blend, it's my unique proprietary blend, but I put the ingredients right in the description, and also at the beginning when I go over the ingredients. All right, this looks good. As you see, I brought some more people to the party. We got sauce, we got garlic, we got Parmesan. All right, speaking of garlic, we're gonna put the garlic in now. We didn't want to put it in earlier because garlic does burn, and that's a really, I'm gonna just straight up say it's a nasty flavor. So you don't want to put it in too soon. And the Parmesan, we're just gonna add it now too. It already comes with a smoky, yeast kind of taste, but I like to add it early on my Parmesan so it can pick up some other flavors. And now we're going to add the water, and you're looking, remember, you know, the water's not clear because when we took out the tomato sauce and marinara sauce from the jar, we put some water in so we can get all of what's in there. We paid for it, so we want to use it all, right? Like even now, I'm low-key tempted to put some water in here, but I ain't gonna do it. I'm just gonna, scoop it out. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get at a little mix around. That looks good. You see the flavor, you see the textures, you see shapes. All right, take the lid back off. Mind you, we let that cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. We just wanted everything to wake up. Now we're gonna add those pasta noodles. Mind you, they're not fully cooked. They are partially cooked because we want them to finish cooking in this sauce. All right, lid on. All right, that cooked for about 5 to 7 minutes. Again, we wanted to cook down some of that pasta, but we also wanted to thicken the sauce a little more. I don't know if you guys know, but that's what starch does. Starch is a great thickener. Potatoes, pasta, rice, grains. It helps thicken up sauces, soups, things of that nature. All right, let's mix this around, and let's get in our casserole dish. Actually, before we do that, let's put a little cheese in here. All right, cheese is also a great thickening agent as well. So this will help thicken this sauce up a little bit. Now, you remember, as this sits longer, it thickens even after it comes out the oven. At first, it's gonna look a little liquidy, but it does thicken over time. Scoop that. All right, let's move this around. Let's get some more out. Feel free to use less water. I know some people aren't comfortable with their ziti looking this loose. I am, because I know once it cooks down, it's a lot thicker. All right, and then we add cheese. And mind you, I'm a bachelor. You know, I live alone, so I don't eat all this at once. The next day, oh my God, so much more flavor, and it's thick. You know, it's definitely thick. After it cools down and goes in the refrigerator, it's very thick, like thickles. All right, and then now we're gonna keep layering it up a little bit more. All right, and then we're gonna add some more cheese. All right, last scoop. All right, put that to the side. A little bit of cheese there. All right, and then we're gonna do some mozzarella. Now, you can just go ahead and use some pre-shredded mozzarella. I personally like to shred all of my cheese. I know plant-based cheese doesn't usually come, not shredded already, but when you're dealing with dairy-based cheese, I love to shred my own cheese. All right, that looks good. All right, we're gonna add some more cheese. I threw it in the recipe there. It was originally 2 cups, but it wasn't cheesy enough, so we're gonna add another cup in there. So it's 3 cups altogether for cheddar. All right, over here at our oven, we're gonna preset it over to 375, and we're gonna cook it for 30, take it down, 20 minutes. Boom. Look at blowing kisses. Mwah, I love you, baby. Now, you wanna be fancy with it, go get some parsley flakes. Now, mind you, We had it in the oven for 20 minutes, but what I did not show on video is that I turned the broiler on for about 7 to 10 minutes to get that real cooked chard on the top. Bringing my plate to the party. All right. Baked ziti. We didn't use any meat. We did a plant-based meat. I was a little nervous. I'm gonna cut into this. I was a little nervous that I probably might have added too much liquid. But let's see. I don't like my ziti dry at all, but I also don't want it wet. Oh, actually looks really good. A modification when you're doing this recipe, use use half of the water recipe that we put in there, just a little bit. Like if you're taking some of the liquid out of the jar, just take a little bit of liquid out. Put this right here. But it smells amazing. It still turned out pretty good. Add some time when you're cooking. I had 20 minutes, I think I put on the recipe, but it needed to cook out some of that excess liquid. So I think in total it's about 35 minutes. I'll put a note, I think somewhere in there. All right, but let's get into it. Nice little crust on the top with the cheese. As y'all can see, we added more cheese. Nice and gooey. It smells amazing. Let's just go for it. It's hot, so be careful. Okay. Now, I've been using a lot of plant-based meat products lately, and it's always a shock to me how relatively close it is to the counterparts, the alternative, ground beef, ground turkey, ground chicken. This is fire. And the bite is as if it was like a meat, like a real animal-based product. This is really, really good. I'm glad we used the fresh tomatoes, that garlic, everything is alive. There's nothing sleepy over here. Remember, you heard it here first. Health is wealth, and I'm just here to make sure you're getting paid. Until next time, yum on. Even the